This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
I'm Tammy Scheider with the Kincardine&amp Chamber of Commerce, and I'm here for Chamber Chat on Rogers. And my special guest today is Keith Battler. Hi, Keith.
Hello.
Keith's a broker with Royal Lepage Exchange Realty at, is it 777 Queen Street?
77 Queen Street, Kincardine.
Wonderful, wonderful. So how long have you been in the business for now? I'm not commenting on age, I'm just saying you're very experienced. I see your name all around town.
35 years.
Wow. And how long have you been at this particular location?
I've always been with the same brokerage, but the brokerage moved here maybe 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm. So you're very familiar with Royal Lepage and their ways of doing things, and obviously you branded yourself with them. That's terrific. So why don't we start out with, because you're involved, I know, in just many facets of the real estate market. You do commercial, residential, land, all kinds of things like that. Tell us a little bit about the residential market and how it's changed over the past 3 or 4 years.
The residential market in Kincardine now is more what I would call a balanced market. The last 2 or 3 years through COVID was just craziness. So in 2021 and 2022 in the springtime, we were averaging probably 12 to 15 listings at any given time. Normally that's around 80, 65 to 80 listings. Right now we're sitting at about 82, so it's a little more balanced, a little more normal type market, not so much bidding wars anymore. A little bit of time to look and choose a house. Prices have dropped slightly, but nothing outrageous.
So listings are still pretty hot then out there, but you think people have a little bit more time to make those decisions instead of writing that check before before they even get a chance to see the house?
Absolutely. It depends. If a house is extremely well priced, it's probably gone in 1 or 2 days. Mm-hmm. But normally we're taking probably 20, 30 days to sell a house now.
Mm-hmm. So we're going back to sort of the old standards of a few years ago.
Yeah, the more normal calm situation. Market. Yeah.
And what is for sale right now? If people are looking for houses, what do you find predominantly on the market right now?
So there's lots of stuff in the 800 plus range. It's a little bit slower. Mm-hmm. It's still selling, but a little bit slower. The hot market is in that 500, 550 range. There's not a lot of product in that area. There are a number of new subdivisions on the go right now. A couple of them are just lots only. You can buy a lot and choose your own builder. One is just townhouses. There's another one with townhouses, semis, and lots. And then north of town is the Hartwick land. I forget what they call the subdivision, but they are featuring custom-built homes for sale. Mm-hmm. And they're having their grand opening this weekend coming up.
Mm-hmm. And those are upper range?
I think they're starting about mid-8s.
Okay, and moving up from there then. So what advice would you have for somebody who's looking to buy a house right now, whether, let's just say first, the first-time home buyers, and then we'll talk a little bit about people looking to upsize, downsize. Is it a good time?
It's an excellent time, especially for a first-time home buyer. It's probably one of the best times we've had in the last 4 or 5 years. Prices have settled down and stabled a bit. As interest rates continue to go down, the prices will go back up. So for a first-time home buyer, it couldn't be a better time right now to get your foot in the door. Mm-hmm. For people moving up or down, there's never a bad time, as long as you do it in the same market. Like if you sell and buy in the same market, you don't get hurt. Where you really run into trouble if you sell and don't buy, you could get caught with prices going up or away from you. So as long as you do it both in the same market, it's perfect.
And what do you find is selling in this area right now? What would you say is the hottest property?
In that high 4s, low 5s range, this would be the hottest ones at the moment.
And that's typically what, like your 3-bedroom, 2-bath family home, that sort of thing, young family perhaps?
Yeah, you're looking somewhere between 950,000 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 1 or 2 bathrooms, 50 by 110 foot lot.
Now, I know I'm asking you to look in your crystal ball with this, and that's probably not fair, but I have the opportunity, and I know you have a lot of experience and exposure to the market. Where do you see things going over the next 5 years or so?
Things in this area are only going to continue a gentle upslope in the next 4 or 5 years with the things that are going on at the Bruce. the demand and the people that they're bringing in, it's just going to keep pushing properties up.
Absolutely, absolutely. And does Kincardine have the space to keep doing that?
Well, there's 4 subdivisions or new projects on the go right now. There's not a whole bunch of excess land that once we get through those, unless they start servicing across 21 and get east of the highway, then there'll be lots of land.
Now, I know you're involved yourself with some developments that are happening around this community. Do you want to talk about them a little bit and tell people
Sure.
what's out there?
So I have my own on Golf Links Road. It's a chunk of land right on the Kincardine Golf Course. There are 10 single-family lots in there. There's 19 townhouses and 4 semis. Currently, the 4 semis are being built, and there's 6 townhouses being constructed right now, as well as 1 single-family home. And it's all a freehold subdivision, which means there's no condo fees. I also have for sale, I don't own it, but I have it listed on Bruce Avenue, another subdivision, which is 49 single-family lots, 74 townhouses, and it's all for sale right now. Probably be ready for building permits in mid-fall.
I wanted to ask you too, for those people that are looking at buying or selling this year, in your opinion, what is the best time of the year to buy or sell? Like, is it traditionally, I think people always thought it was the spring, some say the summer, some say no, it's the fall. What do you find? Or is there a benefit to each season and when you sell?
There's never really a poor season, or some are just a little better. Typically, April, May, June are the busy months. The fall is a little bit quieter, so from a buying perspective, you may get a little bit better deal in the fall than you do in the spring, but there's not a lot of difference.
And what about a few tips for people that are looking to sell their houses? I know there's always sort of little, I don't want to call them tricks to the trade because they're not tricks, but I think little things that you can do around the house to make it more attractive, perhaps look a little more valuable.
Absolutely. So the term in the last several years is staging. So if you get in a qualified realtor, some of them will bring in a stager, some of them will give their own advice, and they'll take time before the house is listed to prep the home. In terms of the curb appearance, it's crucial. People often drive by a house, and if they don't like the looks of it, they won't go inside. So you take a couple weeks to prep the outside gardens, grass, lawns, and then declutter and freshen up rooms inside before we actually put it on the market.
It's interesting how that really makes a difference. Everything, lighting or clean kitchens I've seen, or making sure that grass is mowed and the flower gardens are weeded and cleaned up.
Whole key. A lot of buyers cannot overlook a little bit of a mess or a little bit of cleaning or lawn care. So it's better just to have it all done and pristine before you list it.
Okay. I did want to talk today too, Keith, because I know here at Royal Lepage Exchange and you yourself have a number of charitable pursuits, things that you like to do to give back to the community that supports you. I know Natasha Rufus, she is a big supporter of the food bank, and she does drives a few times a year where she invites people in and they bring in food, and then she in turn passes that on to the food bank. Why don't you talk a little bit about an organization that's very close to your heart?
My wife and I do a lot with the hospice. Since 2020, October 2020, our sister-in-law used the hospice, and we've really got involved with it since then. My wife sits on the the committee for fundraising. I also, for the last 4 years, have donated $250 for every listing I get to the hospice. Then my wife and I also do donating to the food bank as well, but not as consistently as the hospice.
And going back to the hospice, I think that's a pretty considerable amount of money that you have committed to them over the past few years. Like we're in well into 5 digits, I think.
Yep, we've put through various things we've done, we've helped out the hospice quite a bit.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, I want to thank you for joining us today and sitting down and talking a little bit about the real estate market. I know it's a question that's always on everybody's mind, especially now that you said those real estate or interest rates are starting to come down again. People are, I think, looking again. They're getting excited. Good things are coming. So thanks so much, Keith. It was a pleasure having you on Chamber Chat.
Great, thank
Thanks
you
very much, and we'll be right back.
Heartbeat of Mother Earth, I feel you and embrace your warmth. I see you dancing through the trees. Your song floats on the summer breeze. Community, we come together. We are the voice of our ancestors. Thankful for how much you bless us. Feel the thunder in the drum. All our voices sing as one. Feel the power, feel the pride. Feel the drumbeat deep inside. Feel the boom, feel the bass. Let's let go of time and space. It'll make you dance, it'll make you sing. Ode Wegun, Wedok Wishin. The drum will lead you, take you far. Always remember who you are.
You're watching an interesting local show on Rogers TV and you want to know more. That's when you head to rogerstv.com. Our website provides more information about our programs, our hosts, our schedule, and about how you too can get involved with Rogers TV. Visit us online at rogerstv.com.
I'm Carol Merton. Please join me for HealthLink, a program connecting home, community, and healthcare. Please join me and watch HealthLink on Rogers TV.
Hi there, it's Tammy Scheider with the Kincardine District Chamber of Commerce, and welcome to Chamber Chat on Rogers TV. I have a special guest with me here today. His name is Wes Larson, and he is the, I don't know what I should put for title here, Wes. I'm going to put founder, I'm going to put manager, I'm going to put director of Drop In at the Bridge on Queen Street in Kincardine. So first, Wes, welcome. Thanks for joining.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's nice to be here.
So how do I define your position? And we're going to get into what you do first, but what do I call you officially?
So officially, I am the executive director of Drop In at the Bridge. They gave me that name after we got our charitable status. So that's me now.
So how long has the Drop In been open? How many years?
So we just came up on 6 years. It was 6 years actually this month. So that was really
okay. I think we have to talk about a photo op for that, Wes.
time has flown by. There is no
I bet.
Yes.
I bet. So you and I met a number of years ago when this whole idea of Drop In at the Bridge was really just a little bud.
Yes.
And I'm wondering if we can roll back there a little bit to before your opening days, and you can let me know how this all came together, what your thoughts were when you were putting something like this together.
Well, I think originally when I first moved up here, so that's about 15 years ago, what I thought was kind of maybe sad or just different was there was no drop-in. I just somehow expected there would be. And I'm not sure why I expected that, but coming from the city, I just assumed there would be. And there wasn't one. And I always felt at the time that there should be something downtown. And it literally was always in the back of my mind, though I didn't expect really that I would be the one starting it. It was more that we should have one downtown. And I did talk to people about that. And of course, there had been ones prior and things like that, but they'd shut down. And then really it started with a conversation with a friend of mine who we were having coffee and just talking about the idea that maybe we could do this one day. And he's a pastor, and he said, I'm going to be doing this church here in Kincardine, sort of long story short, and at the Davidson Center. But if we get a chance to move downtown, Wes, you can have your drop-in at our downtown location, because I would always love to have a downtown church in the downtown of Kincardine. And lo and behold, that came true. And it came together fairly quickly as far as us doing it. But during that time, my original thought was, let's just do something for seniors. That was always my thought. I did a fair amount of research, realized that per capita, Kincardine has as many seniors per capita as any of our more well-known senior areas, in particular in BC and that. And so I thought, we don't have the services that maybe they really should have. And a drop-in would be a great sort of hub, in essence, to start all that, or at least coordinate it. And so that was the original thought. And of course, it has expanded, as you know, into other areas as well.
Sure. Now, I should ask you too, just to give our viewers a little bit of background on you. Sure. You have quite a lot of experience in social services.
Yeah,
And maybe let's chat about that a little bit too, because I think that's
Yep.
important to kind of how you came from sitting over a coffee to here where
Yes.
you are today.
Well, yeah, I kind of, you could say I grew up in the business world and in right to running my own business. It was a multinational business. And we had probably 40, 50 employees. I had a partner and world, literally around the world. Anyway, doing business. I retired when I was 50, partially because I just kind of felt burnt out and I wanted to do something different. One of the things that always intrigued me was, and at that time I was living in Toronto, and one of the things that always intrigued me was homelessness. I didn't understand it. I didn't understand why people would be living on the streets all year round. Didn't understand why they weren't able to get a job, why they literally just why were they still there? Um, I had the opportunity to be able to spend some time on the streets in Toronto. Now, to be honest, it worked out a lot longer than I thought it was going to. I thought I would be there for a few weeks, and I end up literally 8 months living with the guys on the street. I wanted to understand so much that I literally lived with them. And it just happened to be during the wintertime, by the way, which was kind of intriguing in itself.
So
But
you really became part of that culture. Like
yes,
you're not somebody that's going in and serving soup. You are walking the walk.
right. I actually lived with them. I walked with them. I talked with them. I had long conversations about why, what is it about this that kind of in a sense you could almost say forced you to be on the streets. Um, I learned a lot over that 8 months. It was a phenomenal experience. But out of that came the originally the idea that if you could get people out of the Toronto area where they could live and work together, especially those, and most would have, I would say the vast majority would have addiction challenges. Mm-hmm. And that if we could do that in a place where they could work and kind of live together, you could almost say like a commune, except I was more thinking a farm. Mm-hmm. That they could heal and move forward in life. So when the opportunity came for us to move up here, we got it wasn't a farm, it was 6.5 acres. My dad, who grew up on a farm that was over about 10,000 acres, always said, that's just your backyard. But anyways, that's a whole different story. We started literally a charity at that time where people with addiction challenges would come and live with us for basically up to a year. And we would help them by working with them, getting counseling as they needed it, going to organizations like AA or NA, and over the 7 years that we did that, which was really 24/7 for 7 full years, we had on average about 2 to 3 people a year coming and live with us, and all but 2 got off of drugs, and they are still are. It was a lot of work, and I'm not going to say there was a whole lot on our part other than one of the things we learned very early on, maybe even before we started, was you walk with people just where they are. You love them just the way they are and accept them for who they are. And as they move forward and feeling that they can trust, they start to open up and talk to you about the challenges in their life, what happened. And as we kind of just walk through that life together, they were able to start healing. So as that ended, and to be honest, it ended with the relationship with my wife. We separated. But one of the things that started coming out of that was the idea of, as I said, the seed was planted when I first moved up here. And it was really about a drop in. And the idea that there, when you think about seniors in particular, you're thinking about people, oftentimes, seniors have challenges that maybe oftentimes we don't really think about. You've got health issues, of course. You also may have fixed incomes. Your spouse may have passed away. What do you do next? There's all sorts of things that can happen that can change the course of your life literally in an instant. And what I wanted to be able to have was a drop-in center where people could just come in and feel safe, feel that they could be part of something, the one thing that we always wanted, I always felt was important, was a meal. And part of that was, as a young boy growing up on the farm, the country kitchen was central to everything. And everything you did was really centered there. Whoever came in, there was always coffee, and usually there was a pot of soup or something on the stove. And you were just welcomed and literally as part of the family. And that was kind of the experience that I really wanted with Drop-In. And that was sort of critical in the main core of what Drop-In was all about. And in doing that, what we were able to accomplish was literally a safe place where people could come, hang out, have something to eat, and just feel like they were part of a family. And as it grew from there, literally just more and more people started coming.
Mm-hmm. So you opened your doors, when did you say?
So it was June of 6 years ago. Was that the
2018?
2018, I think it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Is when we opened up, and it was the first Monday in June. So that was the 4th. And to be honest, our first one, I think I have the picture here, but there's literally there were more volunteers than there were guests coming in that first one. Today is a lot different, but those first few weeks was kind of exciting because we really didn't know who was coming.
That's
and
right.
How it actually all work out. Yeah.
Now, that first program that you had, that first Monday that you opened up, you did a lunch. Do I recall that?
Yes, there was a lunch. And we all sat, we put some tables together. We all sat around that table, which really became the main core of our meal, which is, trying to have everybody at a long table, basically. And once again, that whole country kitchen vibe to it.
I think there is a special magic when people can break bread together.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
That's just a special sort of feeling and a sense of belonging that you don't get any other place. Right?
Yes, exactly.
So, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, what it does is it really makes you feel like you're part of a family.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. So I know you ran the Monday lunch programs for a while, and then what did that move on to be? Sure. What steps did you take from there?
So literally as that grew, that summer, so that opened in June, and then literally I think it was August, a young lady came in and just literally said, is there any way you can do something for teens, the high school kids, similar to what you're doing for the seniors? Now, already within a few months, the seniors, it had started to grow. We started, Community Living had called us and said, hey, is there any chance some of our people from Community Living could actually come and be part of that? And then the same thing with the Mental Health Association. So we were having a wide variety of ages and abilities and disabilities, in essence, all going together in one big happy family. So when this young lady came and talked about, the challenges of the youth in Kincardine and wondering if we could start something, I said, sure. And so in September of that year, we started a Drop-In. It was a Wednesday for lunch for the teens. Now, when you think about it, you add hungry teenagers, free food. I mean, it's got to be a success. There's just no way about, yes, it is. And I always talk about it in the sense that it's like a horde of locusts coming in, eating everything in sight and leaving, because they have about half an hour. They walk up, they eat, and then they're gone. And it's a lot of fun.
What else have you got going down at the bridge?
Okay, so we also, of course, as I mentioned, on Thursday, we do the teen lunch. And then also we started this year, we started off with a teen Drop-In after school program, and we call it Books, Beans, and Banter, because I think that's perfectly what it is. What we do is it's really a teen cafe and homework club. We have, as volunteers, we have retired teachers, as well as teachers actually who are currently teaching right now as volunteers to help the kids with their homework. While they're there, in fact, it is the only program we have that doesn't have actually food associated with it. But we do have lattes. We have a machine for making lattes, and they do the chocolate thing as well, and that's a lot of fun. It's all free, and we've been challenged lately trying to figure out how to make little stuff on the coffee cups to make it look pretty with the foam. And so there's been a contest going on actually, and we do send that out to Instagram just to, it's kind of like looking at clouds. What do you see in this?
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
So,
Go ahead.
Wednesday, is that right?
That's Thursday.
It says Thursday. And when's your Books and Beans?
So the Books and Beans is Thursday afternoon after school then as well.
Are both those programs directed at teens? I know the lunch is.
Yes, they are. And the idea, once again, is what we want to really do is have literally a safe place, an alternative for the teens to go, to be able to just hang out, enjoy themselves. And certainly as they get to know us, like one of the things that we do at the cafe is we often play board games. The big one right now is Crokinole, and who can beat who or whom. And it's been a lot of fun and just a lot of laughter. So we do that typically after the kids have finished their homework, and that program runs from 3:30 till 8 at night. So
wow,
that's a lot of fun. And once again, it's a drop-in, so you can kind of come and go as you want. And sometimes the kids will head off for a bit, and then they'll come back and do something else. And you can sit and chat, or you can read a book, or if you want, hang out with some of your friends and play some board games, or whatever you want to do. That's the idea of it. Then on Fridays, alternating Fridays, we have for our Ukrainian families who have literally come over from the war and settled here in Canada, we have a drop-in for them. And that was actually started, we were asked if we would do something like that when they first came over here, I guess about a year and a half ago now. And it's been a great time. And we've been able to help them from a standpoint of just chance to be able to talk to each other and do some healing from that standpoint. But also we've helped them with English second language, helping some of them that were looking for jobs, apartments, whatever, and just being a place where they could come and hang out, but also just to use us as a resource as well.
Absolutely. Yep. You're becoming their community.
On Saturdays, we do what's called we do a board game. It's really board games. And at one time we used to do movies, but it's just so you know, it's from 2 to 7 and it's open to anybody. We get everybody from grandparents with their little grandchildren coming in, playing snakes and ladders, to preteens who are playing such sophisticated strategy games that it just goes over my head when they try to explain it. It's certainly gone way past Risk and anything like that I ever learned. And then we also have seniors coming in, just everybody. It's just a great time.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
Hello, I'm Liz Dowdswell, Lieutenant Governor of Ontario. In 2008, carbon monoxide, a deadly invisible gas, killed an entire family in our province. That tragedy led to a new law requiring homes with potential CO sources to have alarms. John Gignac's family members passed away that day, and he shares his story to save others.
Please make sure you have working CO alarms in your home. Protect your family today.
Every year, dozens of Canadians are killed or seriously injured because they take risks around railway tracks. Talk to your loved ones about rail safety. Visit stoptracktragedies.ca.
I battle with addiction of prescription drugs since my mom passed. Please tell God I'm sorry. And